Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a episode of Clubhouse Weekly. I am David Robinson. No co-host tonight. Going to swing it solo. I gotta admit one thing up front today. Usually I put a little show prep in, probably about an hour or so, and today I just long day at work. A lot of weird stuff happened, and I just wasn't into it. So I'm gonna do it on the fly. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully I'll come up with some good stuff. Go over week one NFL in the books. Fun Sunday to watch. A lot of weird things happened. And then look forward to week two. And we'll check in. First, I'll get the snooze of the week out of the way, which I don't know, you could say, unfortunately, I was part of, but fortunately, I was part of it. Because I get a dirty win. And I can definitely see why somebody that scores 150 points and loses would think that, I got a dirty win. Because I put up 86 and I get a W this week, and I am in 6th place, and I am super happy about it. But it doesn't go without effort. I mean, I did try. I was dirty griming Sunday morning. I picked up Vernon Davis on Sunday morning. He puts up, 14 points compared to Jack Doyle, who only put up 2.5. I make a trade early in the week for Josh Gordon, who picks up more points than my other fantasy receivers would have. I know it's not a huge number. A lot of guys put up 25 plus points this week. Not so much for me. I didn't have any of those guys. And really, I mean, it comes down to my draft, and I just really ran into a lot of variance in my draft. My first three rounds, I got 8 points out of them. Between Tyreek, Antonio Brown, and Odell, Mr. Watch. He's got to wear his watch every day now. But I pull up a slimy win. Like I said, I lose Tyreek Hill. I'm not super happy about that. I have to deal without that for the next few weeks. And I'm definitely vulnerable. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it, but I won't be out there being lazy. I will be working hard to make the squad better. You'll be seeing a lot of trade proposals, and I definitely will be grinding that waiver wire out. We should have been doing that this week. I think Steven and I were the only two people that actually did anything this week to improve our roster. So I suggest you guys figure out what the waiver wire is. Over to Becky's team really quick. I don't want to waste too much time. She's got that Matt Ryan, Julio Jones combo. That's what I was worried about. And they get shut down in Minnesota for the first 3 quarters. And then, in true, true Matt Ryan fashion. I don't hate Matt Ryan that much, but he definitely always figures out a way to put up some points. And he does it all in the 4th quarter with 2 touchdowns. To 1 to Julio Jones. So, honestly, she gets a majority of her points in the 4th quarter of a game that was out of control already. She's got some serious depth issues to deal with. Tevin Coleman, who isn't even really a perennial starter, is starting for her, and he's out. She starts Jordan Howard. She has George Kittle. George Kittle actually has 2 touchdowns called back by penalty. So unfortunate there, and she's unfortunate. Corey Davis just puts up a bagel for her. These things will happen. It's not like Becky's going to put up 67 points every week, but she doesn't the week she plays me, and I'm happy about that. Go on to the next matchup here. We'll go to Steven's team versus John's team. The Amari Sodomizers versus Show Me Your TDs. And, really, Steven has a big, he has a Monday night comeback, which, it's always awesome. Always Michael Thomas, Philip Lindsay, and Josh Jacobs put up good enough numbers for him to pull ahead with the victory on Monday Night Football. Really, both these teams, their quarterbacks underperform for them. I am not a Trubisky guy, Steven, so I would get away from that. No quarterback on the bench, so get out of the waiver. You could have picked up, I don't know, you might have, I don't know. Matt Stafford this week's available. Pick him up. Somebody else. He loses Darius Geis, who was on his bench for a couple weeks here. We'll see what happens. He wasn't starting last week, but that was somebody with some high upside. Still might have some upside, not somebody I think I would dump just yet. So we'll see how Steve handles that. It's funny. Travis Kelce, of course, has a solid day. I think he gets 3 catches for 80-something yards, a couple of nice 40-yard catches or something like that. But he misses out on a touchdown from Pat Mahomes doing the old no-look to him. And Pat Mahomes on Twitter apologizes to Travis Kelce about him not getting a touchdown. And he should apologize to Steven and all of his fantasy owners that he did not get Travis Kelce a touchdown. So, I mean, Steven seems somebody who's truly engaged, and I really like his chances this year. I mean, just keep out there, be active, figure out where you have depth, and make some trades here. We got 4 weeks of, that's the thing, you guys have to realize you have 4 weeks of full roster strength until we get to buys. So right now, I mean, if you have a little extra depth, you could dump to improve another position, I'd go ahead and do it. We can figure out some more depth here in the next couple of weeks and see how that works out. Going over to John's team, I mean, really, I'm high on Ben Roethlisberger, but John misses out on some serious value here. John would have won the game if we started Philip Rivers over Ben. That's a 50-50 toss-up, so that's a coaching decision he loses out on. John's got to be happy about the fact that Le'Veon Bell does seem to be a real part of that offense. He does look good. I mean, the Jets, they get out to a good start. And but it was nice to see Le'Veon, kind of still do his little thing where he gets the ball, goes real slow into the line, and explodes when he finds the hole. He makes some big, he had a touchdown reception plus a 2-point reception. It was good to see Le'Veon doing Le'Veon things. So, I mean, John can take some solace in that. I think he does have a bell cow out there, and really, he gets a huge. I mean, that Melvin Gordon being gone works out huge for John. He gets 36 big fantasy points out of Austin Eckler. That's something that John might be able to rely on the rest of the year. I said it on fantasy. I thought that, or said it here on weekly, that I thought that maybe Eckler would still be a third down back, but really he's being utilized on all downs. And Eckler looks like a real stud. If that continues for John, I like his chances here for his team to be decent. He does get a little bit of touchdown variance from Lockett and Thielen, both of them not having huge days. I mean, Minnesota threw the ball 10 times. Thielen happens to catch a touchdown, so his score is a little bit, above what it should be. And Lockett catched one pass for 44 yards and a touchdown. So those are 2 touchdowns that I don't think you can count on every week when you have 2 receivers catch touchdowns, and 2 of them are. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, sorry about that. Little duty calls type of thing. But anyway, and I'm not going to edit this, so that's just how life goes. I think I was talking about John's team and Austin Eckler, but I mean, real quickly, the Cleveland Browns just totally pooped the bed. Pooped the bed tonight, or Sunday, and yeah, he gets 0 out of his defense. So there's another lost equity spot. I mean, that's the thing. It's always close. I mean, if John would have played New England's defense over Cleveland's defense, he would have won. So, I mean, these coaching decisions are something that might bite you in the ass later in the season. So, really quickly, we're going to go to the next matchup. The Tiger Dogcats versus Derek's team. Derek's team, I'm not going to say too much about, other than I love the logo. Thank you for the what would Taco do logo. I do think that's very well done. I will give you props on that. But I mean, really, this is just a drafting problem, kind of like I ran into. But his first 3 draft picks were probably a combination of Chubb, Kerryon Johnson, and Ezekiel Elliott, and they just don't perform for him. It's early. I wouldn't freak out. But always I worry about depth when it comes to a auto-drafted team, and I see some huge holes here. He has John Ross on the bench, which he could have played, but I don't think anybody in the world would have played. Not something I'm looking to play on a weekly and week-out basis, but he puts up 31 big fantasy points for him, which would have made the difference in the game, but I don't blame him for that. Really, just his guys don't show up. I mean, he doesn't have a terrible roster. He has a very nondescript roster. I'd rather talk about Sean's team. I beat up Sean a little bit in the pre-draft analysis, or the post-draft analysis. They took Dalvin Cook 5th overall. Still think it's a bit of a reach, but if Dalvin Cook's getting 21 carries and the Minnesota Vikings are only going to pass the ball 10 times a game, he's going to be in good shape. I mean, I don't know if the Vikings will actually be able to throw the ball only 10 times. But Cook looked great. I mean, he looked like everything he's built to be, and if he can stay healthy, this would be a fine pick for Sean. He can ride that guy all the way to the playoffs. I like Sterling Shepard and Emmanuel Sanders actually showing up. So kind of his riskier picks paid off in week 1. And I know Shepard doesn't put a huge number, but I like Sterling Shepard. Emmanuel Sanders looks like a football player. I don't know how you tear your Achilles in December, and then September 9th, 7th, whatever it was, you're out there playing, full volume football. Evan Ingram, big number at tight end. I mean, that's somewhere. He's got Greg Olsen on his bench. I don't know if any of those guys have too much trade value. You get something for Ingram, but I wouldn't trade Ingram. I mean, you could maybe see if you could dip something out to maybe me or somebody that has no tight ends. Maybe upgrade your bench there because you're going to definitely be starting Ingram every week, especially after a big week 1. Yeah, John Brown on the bench. That's nice depth. Ron Allison. So, like I said, I beat up on Sean a little bit. He gets an underperformance from Cam Newton, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. Good victory, Sean. The Tiger Dog Cats come home with a dub. Good job, buddy. We'll go down to the Breeze Knees playing that's Jamie's team versus Dungat Warrants. And this game was over at about 1:07 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday when Sammy Watkins decided to actually be the Sammy Watkins we all thought he could be. Run that 4.340 straight down the field. Sammy Watkins goes out for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and really that's all she wrote. I mean, that's one of those ones where it's like, damn, can't do anything about that. And really, he gets performances. I mean, Saquon, Chris Carson both put up good numbers for him. It's a solid backfield to build your squad around. Amari gets a touchdown score. He's got Bobby Woods. I like that. Let's see here. And this is something he's going to have to deal with. I mean, this is interesting. He has T.J. Hawkinson on the bench. Has a huge week 1. He's obviously not starting for him, which I'm not blaming him. But this is where, you don't need to carry 2 tight ends. And if you're happy with O.J. Howard or if you're happy with T.J. Hawkinson, then trade one of them. And I am not a huge Lions guy when it comes to fantasy football, but T.J. Hawkinson's kind of special, and I think he might actually have a really good season. I'm buying on T.J. Hawkinson. I like that he's getting the ball downfield. He's not, he doesn't catch 4-yard passes. This guy catches 25-yard passes for touchdowns, which is awesome. So if I was Amir, I'd be super, super happy. Real quick, the Breeze Knees. I mean, I think we're going to run in variants here. She's attached to to Baker Mayfield. They have a terrible game. Mike Evans, I think half the Tampa Bay team had the shits last week. There was some sort of food poisoning outbreak. Joe Mixon gets hurt. That sucks. She gets a nice performance out of Mark Andrews. She has Lamar Jackson, who was on her bench. So, I mean, that's somewhere where maybe she can make up some points. I don't mind that. We got a tight end there. Yeah, Andrews at tight end. I like that. So, Jamie, it's not panic time, but it's definitely time to be out on the waiver wire, see what you can pick up, how you can improve your roster. And, I like David Montgomery. Actually, Montgomery only puts up 5 fantasy points, but I'm going to look at this here. I don't think he had nearly enough. Yeah, he only had 6 carries, which he was like the only thing on that offense that looked decent. So I would hold on to Montgomery. I would start Montgomery. I mean, I think Mike Davis is one of the other running back that actually runs the ball there. Tariq Cohen just catches it. And I think that it's very possible that when we're sitting here week 5, we're talking about David Montgomery, 17 carries, 90 yards and a score. So I hold on to Montgomery. I continue to start him. You got to ride that wave. But, nothing to get too upset about. I think she runs into a bad week of variance, and we'll see if she does better next week. Let's see. We're going to go down to Sweden House, which is Bend the Knee, Sarah's team. And Mike's team puts up a big number there, 135. Got to like it. Got to feel good about it. Dak Prescott pretty much has a perfect passer rating. He plays against the Giants. He's got to be a little bit worried about Juju. Those Steelers didn't look that great, but maybe that's the thing where he still puts up 11 points for him. But maybe the Steelers just are owned by New England and they'll get out of their own way next week. I'm not gonna get too worried about that. Sony Michel only puts up a point for him, so he's probably a little bit scared about that. But that's what you do when you're playing. New England running backs. I don't know. Rex Burkhead with more touches probably than Sony Michel, which is ridiculous. But that's Belichick. His defense puts up a big number. He gets a score on his defense. Derrick Henry really takes advantage of just that Browns team that, in the fourth quarter, I don't think they wanted any part of trying to tackle Derrick Henry on that 75-yard touchdown reception down the sideline. I really think people are making business decisions to get out of the way. And that's a big deal because Derrick Henry doesn't look like he can run that fast, but man, he looks like he's hard to bring down. So, he's got to be happy about that. I don't know if that type of performance can keep up. So we'll see here. I like Mike's team. I think Mike's team is better than Sarah's team. I think Sarah has the worst team in the league, despite some of the numbers that other squads put up. We're starting Andy Isabella, who's only projected to have 3 points. Hunter Henry's out now. He's going to be out 4 weeks. It's a decent tight end that she had. It's gone. Rashad Penny. Yeah, this is an awful roster. She has Patrick Mahomes. She needs Patrick Mahomes to put up like 50 fantasy points every chance on a week-in-week-out basis. And I just don't see this as somebody who's going to be out there like scrounging the waiver wires, trying to make trades, trying to figure it. Frankly, she doesn't have much to trade. She's got Todd Gurley Todd Gurley's going to touch the ball 15 times a game, not 25 times a game. Her bench everybody on her bench puts up like negative points, less than 1 point. Yeah, that's it. Mike wins. We're going to head over to the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome did not disappoint this week. 180 to 154. You put up 154 points, you generally think you're going to win. You put up all those numbers that somebody's got to beat, and it's not going to get beat very often. They got beat this week by Jack, and I called it here last week on Weekly that I thought Jack had the best team in the league. We'll see if he continues to build depth, and he's got like that Houston connection. I love that Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins combination. He takes a chance on Deshaun Jackson last week, who just looks like he's 25 years old again. He's definitely looks like a deep threat. I think they're going to avoid injury there. He's going to be good. David Johnson gets a late score. Mark Ingram, that Ravens backfield, they'll love every Raven running back, and Mark Ingram is the lead of that. Really, I think that you've got to look to see what depth you can trade away. I'm going to hammer it home all year, Jack. Trade away depth, pick up people on the waivers, make your team better. Don't be lazy. Over to ridiculousness, Christian McCaffrey puts up a monster. I don't know if that's number one in the league. I don't know if it was number one fantasy performance, but to me it was. And that guy's just a maniac. He didn't stop. Everything's hard, everything's fast, plays the game the right way. I love Christian McCaffrey. They're really just solid performances up and down. There's not much to be upset about here. Does Big Dick Nick going out in Jacksonville help Fournette or hurt Fournette? Personally, I think it hurts him, because he's not the pass game's not there. I know that the kid that came in had a nice game, but, in the long run, I just don't think that's repeatable, and I think that he's going to stack the box, and it's going to hurt Fournette's overall performance going forward. Michael Gallup, I like that pick, and he starts him and plays him, and Gallup goes off, and no touchdowns, 156 yards, no touchdowns. Puts up 19 big fantasy points for Anthony. This is kind of a squad that I think Anthony can ride with, and good pickups on his bench. He's got Jimmy Graham on his bench. That's a tradable commodity. LaShawn McCoy might turn into a tradable commodity. Chris Thompson, Darius Geis is out. Everybody's thinking Adrian Peterson's going to play next week. Yeah, he's going to play, but Chris Thompson is somebody who played this week. He wasn't a healthy scratch, so that might be a playable commodity as well. So I like what Anthony has going on. He's got to keep on grinding, though. Don't lose. Don't feel good. You cannot get happy in fantasy when you put up 180 points or 155 points and go, oh, I'm on my toilet right now. Excuse me. I'm on my toilet right now. I'm not going to look at my fantasy lineup. I look at it all the time, figure out what you can do, see who's out there, see what other teams need. We're going to go on and do previews for week 2. Real quick, nobody's going to care about this, but USA Basketball lost this morning to France. Bummed me out a little bit. But it's a great game. I think they should go on to Donovan Mitchell a little bit more in the second half. They got stuck with Kemba Walker having the ball all the time. And Donovan had it going on. They played small. I thought Miles Turner should have been in the game a little bit more. But anyways, that's all about USA basketball. Who cares? To most of you. Let's see here. I'm going to figure out what the Thunderdome is first. I'll go there for the Thunderdome. We'll start off with my matchup first. Shakanovich versus the Breeze Needs. This is a classic old school. It's like the Packers playing the Bears back in. Go ahead. So yeah, that's the second time I've been interrupted in this video, and that's the first on Clubhouse Weekly. I apologize for that. I don't know. Maybe you can edit it out. Maybe I'll just leave it. Who cares? Anyways, we're gonna go through week 2, and we start off with my team versus Jamie's team. Really, I'm just gonna look and see if we have any decisions to make. I know I have a tight end problem because I don't have any. I have Jack Doyle or Vernon Davis to start. I'm trying to make trades, figure out if anyone wants to give me anything. We'll see. I have Antonio Brown maybe back this week. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure by Friday he'll be in jail, and then, you know, Sunday morning they'll say that he's going to start in, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's so up and down every week with that guy, or every day with this guy. Jamie has, let's see here, probably quarterback decision here. Yeah, it's looking like she should start Lamar Jackson over Baker Mayfield. I would definitely do that. Mike Evans should be back tomorrow night at Carolina. Hopefully feeling a little bit better. Maybe not any diarrhea problems. I think we was having that last week. We'll see. What is New England going to do to Miami? I mean, that is a huge spread. I have lines at like 18 points. I mean, that might break a record. I mean, everybody thinks Miami is just not going to score a point the rest of the season and get rolled by 40 every week. And they might be right. I mean, you got guys down there just asking to be traded. So, I mean, New England Patriots a good start. You just got to hope that he's one of the guys that are a beneficiary of that. Starting Cleveland or Chicago's defense, that's probably somebody she drafted a little bit earlier than most of us. Jamie, you got N'Keal Harry. He's on injured reserve on your bench, so that's just a no-no. That means you're not out there doing what you should be doing. By the way, I don't know if I want to tell everybody else this just yet, but it's week 2, and we have waivers on Tuesday, and you can only do it Tuesday night, so you need to get out there and do it. So if you have N'Keal Harry right now on your bench, that means that you didn't even consider making a waiver pickup. He's just dead. Dead. Gone. 7th receiver on the team, and he's hurt. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go with myself for the victory. I guess a slight upset compared to, according to Yahoo. I don't know. A little up-down theory there. I think the Packers are going to play well this week at home against Minnesota. I know the Minnesota defense is good, but I don't think the Packers' offense is as bad as it showed in Chicago. And really, I lost a lot of equity with Rodgers and Adams last week, and I think I'm going to gain a lot this week. Move on to the next matchup. We're going to go to auto draft. Derek's team versus Show Me Your TVs. That's John's team. And again, I think we're going to look at this up. John's going to have to decide between Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers. Rivers is at Detroit. A good start. Big Ben at home against Seattle. And they got Ben edging Phil by a point. I think I'd go against the computer there. I'd go with Phillip Rivers. Le'Veon Bell at home on Monday Night Football against Cleveland. I kind of like that matchup. What's auto draft going on here? Oh, you can't start the New Orleans defense on the road. Oh, he's got to pick up a better defense. He's got 2 defenses playing on the road. That's definitely a streaming play for you. I would. There's somebody out there better. I mean, you have Jacksonville at Houston, and Houston definitely showed them to put up some points, and so did the Rams last week, and they're both at home, and I would not play either of those defenses. I like Ronald Jones on your bench. You don't start him just yet, but that might be a good play long term for you. Carson Wentz in Atlanta, that's not bad. But I think Atlanta's got a lot to prove this week. I don't think they're as bad as they showed last week. I think Atlanta's a team that could actually be decent. So start John Ross this week. Don't really love it. carry-ons. Williams, Murray. Not a ton of decisions for Derek. So no decisions for Derek, and just as long as he gets out there and gets a better defense, I'll go with Derek for the win there. It was a terrible episode. I'm so sorry. I'm usually better than this. Moving on to Sweden House versus Becky's team, the Scoregasms. I mean, I think we all know where we're going to go with this. Everybody's going to pick Mike. Totally fine, totally understandable. Dak Prescott at Washington. Odell at home on Monday Night Football. I mean, I think he's going to want to show off. Juju's dealing with what? Juju's got questionable. He's just ill, so he's fine. Derrick Henry at home against Indy. I don't know if that's something you can count on, but he does have Sony Michel. Probably going to have a bounce back game in Miami. Cooper's birthday. He's going to decide to start Jameson Crowder or Marvin Jones Jr. I'd go with Crowder. I mean, he got targeted 18 times last week. That's just unheard of volume. So I'd ride the Crowder train over to Scoregasms. I mean, Scoregasms just got to hope that Matt Ryan and Julio just put a show on. Outside of that, George Kittle could put up a decent number in Cincy. God, what a snoozer of a game. That's going to be, God, who's going to be calling that game? I should apply to Fox and see if I can call that game. Let's see, it's in Cincinnati, so it's going to be a CBS game. I should apply to CBS for that game. See if I can call it, because I don't even know who they have on that game. Not a ton of decisions. I mean, I guess she does have Adrian Peterson, but Devin Funchess is dead. You can drop him, pick up somebody else. Tevin Coleman out. Yeah, I mean, she's still putting a lineup out there. Give her credit for that. But I'll go with Sweden House for the win. Go over to the Dunn got Lawrence versus Tiger Dog Cats. It's Amir versus Sean. I like Amir's team. I talked about it in the week one recap, and it looks like he's still trying to roll here. I mean, Sean's going to be having to hope that the Dalvin Cook train continues in Green Bay, which it can't be as good as last week. It's going to be a tough road game. He's got a couple of Vikings playing in Green Bay. I mean, the Packers can be ready to play. There's 2 1-0 teams, and I don't know. I just like the pedigree of the Green Bay Packers more than the Minnesota Vikings. Simple as that. Tomorrow night, I mean, he could get off to a nice start with Cam playing against Tampa Bay, but I don't know. I saw San Francisco won by 2 touchdowns, but really, I mean, that was 2 pick sixes off of the hands of Jameis Winston. So, really, the Tampa Bay D didn't give a ton. It's not as easy as it looks. Cam should still put up a decent number, but maybe not be crazy. Let's see what we got for defensive here. Ooh, I like that. Buffalo at the Giants. I think that's where you're going to roll there. Sean, that's fine. Defense for Amir. There's got to be something better. Well, I mean, the Rams are somebody you're holding on to all year, so you might just go ahead and play them just so you can keep them, hold a roster spot there. Yeah, maybe you're not going to do that much better. Ooh, I like this. Amir's going to go ahead and play T.J. Hawkinson over O.J. Howard. Good play on you. I think, like I said, I think TJ's a real player, and going ahead and sit down O.J. Howard, T.J. Hawkinson starting at tight end for Amir's team. I'm going to be interested to see if Sammy Watkins is really going to be the Sammy Watkins we all thought he could be 5 years ago. I'm going to go with Amir's team here for the win. He goes to 2-0, and Sean goes to 1-1. Then on a 4th and 20, Jack's team versus Bend the Knee. Bend the Knee projected to put up only 94 fantasy points this week. Probably because you're still starting Andy Isabella. He's an Arizona Cardinal that doesn't touch the ball. It's not a good start. We have Hunter Henry at the tight end position. We have no tight end on the bench. Do we? Oh, no. So Delaney Walker's going to play there. So that's not bad. I like Delaney Walker. Hunter Henry is going to be out 4 weeks. Probably going to have to roster him still. I mean, you don't have to, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. Yeah, there's just not a ton of love over there for Sarah's team. I mean, Pat Mahomes. I mean, you could always run into a Pat Mahomes buzzsaw at Oakland this week, and he puts up 45, and Jack's got a real game on his hands. That's what I'd look for. Over to Jack's team, we're going with Tom Brady. Tommy over Deshaun this week. Oh, Jack loves that Miami matchup. Good play there, Jack. I'll go with it, too. So D.D. Westbrook starting. You guys think better? I mean, I don't know, maybe he's mad at Robbie Anderson. I would. Oof. I think I'd go with Robbie Anderson there, though. Robbie Anderson over D.D., but that's not how you have it right now. Not a big deal. He's a big dog in the league right now, so I'm not going to talk too much smack, but you got to cheer yourself up for later in the year. Mark Ingram starting for you. Njoku's your tight end. Yeah, absolutely. It's a solid roster, Jack. I really like it. Jack Lowe. Then we move. We did that. We did that. We did that. We did that. And then we go to the Thunderdome. Amari Sodomizer versus Ridiculousness, Anthony Johnson's team. And, yeah, this is, yep, look at that. My man Steve out there picking up Matt Stafford off waivers. Mitch Trubisky on the bench, I'm thinking. Oh, no, just Mitch Trubisky's gone. Wow. Just gone. Forget about it. We don't need you, Mitch. And he cut Mitch Trubisky. I love it. Good job. That's decisive. I like that. I'd rather have Stafford than Trubisky, too. Mike Thomas, T.Y. Hilton, Allen Robinson, and Josh Jacobs. There's a nice pickup. I mean, a lot of people had to reach for him. I don't think Steven had to reach for him, but even if he had to, I mean, it's a good pickup. Tariq Cohen, but I mean, really, this is a squad that really like double digits for every single position, and then his defense is at 9. So, although the win is projected for Anthony at a 2-point margin, I like Steven's squad and the consistency and the high floor from each player he's showing. We've got double digits out of everybody. I mean, Anthony actually has it too. So this is why it's the Thunderdome. Calvin Ridley is going to fall into some touchdown love like he did last week. That's questionable. Christian McCaffrey, I mean, it's going to be all about tomorrow night. If Christian McCaffrey's going to be able to play like he played last week, he could put up another 30-burger for him real quick. Let's see if he got anything better than Russell Wilson out there. No, not on his bench. I don't know if I see any pickups here. I think Bernard might be a pickup for Anthony. Not really any starts he can make off his bench. I mean, I definitely think you've got to change that defensive matchup. You cannot be starting the Arizona defense at Baltimore this week. That's too scary. That could be a negative number. Continue with that. I know Yahoo says 4.7 points, but that could be a negative 4.7 points if you're not careful. He's got Gallup, he's got Ertz, he's got Fournette, he's got McCaffrey, Alshon Jeffrey, Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen. I mean, really, that's a solid lineup both ways. I like these teams. I think these are two playoff teams. My gut said the Sodomizer, though. Yeah, the Sodomizer. I'm going to go with the Sodomizer here. I like Josh Jacobs. I like some of the plays he has. I think Travis Kelce bounces back in a huge week. He had a decent week last week, but I think that Mahomes might throw him 3 touchdowns this week just because I've been missing that one last week. That's it. Terrible video. Sorry, guys. I'm your lifeguard, though, and I had to do it. It was a long day. So next week, I'll put some real effort into this. But I don't know. Steven's digging bench players out of everywhere, just picking up anybody. I love it. And just no names. You never heard. Steven's leading the league in waiver wire moves right now. I guarantee it. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'm David Robinson. Good night.